Welcome to today's video. Today we are going to talk about how, when and if Ethereum merges, how there won't be any profitable altcoins to mine in almost every single scenario. And the way we came to that conclusion is simple math. So I have some staggering statistics for you. What I've done is I have taken all the hash rates of some of the networks people think they'll be switching to, and I have converted them into common hash rates, meaning that if a 3080 mining Ethereum does around 100 mega hash per second, and that same 3080 does 43 mega hash per second on the Ravencoin network, and then onto the Ergo network it does maybe 187 mega hash. Some people said 240, but I used 187, which is more conservative. And what I've done is put the Ethereum network on scale with the other network. You'll see pretty quickly how big the Ethereum network is, and then I'm going to talk about what that means to the other networks, as people think that they can simply switch to the altcoins because altcoins are currently profitable, even though most of them are not as profitable as Ethereum for any standard period of time. If the entire Ethereum network was converted into Ravencoin, the figure comes out to about the equivalent of 425.4 terahash. Currently, in this example, when I took all these screenshots and data, which is what we're going to use, I know that's changing all the time, but that is approximately 192.5 times bigger than the actual Ravencoin network. And for Ergo, the same thing happens. The amount of hash power on the Ethereum network converted to Ergo, meaning that if Ethereum mining ended and they all switched to Ergo, it would be equivalent to 1850 terahash per second. That is 125 times bigger than the current Ergo network. Of course, there's almost no math involved when we compare an ethash versus an ethash network like ETC versus Ethereum. They use the same algorithm. So the Ethereum network is about 42 times bigger than the Ethereum Classic network. So what does that mean to you? Everybody's under the assumption that when Ethereum merges, they can simply switch to altcoins because the altcoins are not as profitable as Ethereum, but it will be something to switch to. Now, I know that the market's in turmoil right now, so this video is probably improperly timed. I meant to release this probably a month ago. There may not be any profitable coins anyways without the merge. At the time of this video, everything seems to be pretty much like crashing or plummeting. Let's talk briefly about what it means when more hash rate comes onto a network. So, as everybody should be aware, I hope you are aware, that there is a preset block time in every crypto that you mine. So what that means is the network will always try to keep that preset time. It is built in to increase the difficulty of the network as more hash power comes on, and to also lower it when less hash rate is available, to make sure that that preset block time always happens. Say the network is set to find one block every 1 minute, and then when you find a block, you obviously get the rewards. Now, if you're solo mining, you get all the rewards, but if you're in a pool, the rewards are shared, and there's a bunch of different payment systems sure they're shared. So if you were the only person mining a coin, it would not matter whether or not you had one 1660 super mining or a million 3080s. The hash rate doesn't matter, because the preset block time is going to adjust the difficulty of the network up or down so that a block is always discovered in, say, that 1 minute, no matter what the hash is, high or low. So the only thing that adding more hash rate does, because we're not all solo mining and we're all mining some of the same coins, increasing your hash rate makes you get a bigger piece of that reward. And that's it. So having said that, we're going to take a completely hypothetical scenario. We're going to use Ravencoin just for example, and we're going to make completely fictitious numbers just so you can get a better understanding of how the hash rate and difficulty play together. So let's say that the Ravencoin network is 10 mega hash total, and there are 10 users, 10 miners, each putting off a mega hash of mining. So you, as one of those 10, makes up 1 mega hash or 10% of the network. So let's pretend that every time a block is discovered, you're also rewarded 10 coins. So if you have 10 coins rewarded and you're all in the same pool, total 10 mega hash, you're 1 mega hash, you are 10% of that, you'll get 1 coin every single time a block is found. So then we need to look at what happens if the equivalent of the Ethereum network all came onto your network. So I have, these numbers are completely fictitious. However, I'm still using the fact that the Ethereum network at the time of this data collection was 192 times bigger than Ravencoin, 192.5 to be exact. So now we're going to take that 10 mega hash network and we're going to pretend that all of the Ethereum miners came to the network, which makes it 192.5 times bigger. We're also going to assume that you did not increase your hash rate, which most of us aren't going to be increasing our systems, or maybe slowly adding to it. All right, so in this graphic, we're looking at what happens if everybody in Ethereum switched to the Ravencoin network. Now, I know people are going to say half the Ethereum network is ASIC miners, but we're going to get to that. Let's just assume that Ethereum merged and everybody had to switch over to the next profitable coin. Let's pretend that it's Ravencoin. So now the Ravencoin network, with all the Ethereum people merging over, is now 1,925 mega hash. That's the size of the network. 192.5 times increase. That means that everybody that was on the Ravencoin network pre-existing, remember that 10 mega hash? You guys are now 0.5% of the entire network. I wanted to go ahead and demonstrate what your actual sliver would be, being one of 10 or 10% of that old network, but it was so small that it wouldn't even show up on this pie chart. So now that your 10% sliver is too small, and let's say because the rewards don't change and the block rate doesn't change, so now the network difficulty has just escalated crazy so that the block preset time is still the same. The difficulty of the network is way up. So now instead, when you mine, you know how you were getting 10% of the network before, or every block that was found was 10 coins. You were getting one of those coins. Your one coin, without changing your hash rate, is now 0.005 Raven. There is not a single scenario in existence besides the price of Ravencoin going up by 192.5 times where it is still equivalent to the amount of money that you're making. So there's literally no way for Ravencoin to become profitable without that insane price increase of at least 192.5 times, or the same amount of miners that come over. So people might be thinking, well, there's multiple coins, yada, yada, yada. I want to tell you just flat out, there is enough sheer size in the Ethereum network to double more than every profitable network right now. So unless 90, 95, 99% of those miners go offline, there will not be a profitable coin as they all try to shuffle onto these networks. Unless, of course, I said the prices of the other coins come up, and I'm not talking doubling, tripling, I'm talking they need to move up by as much as the network size increases. So if Ravencoin gets an increase of 192 times in the network size, the price of that coin needs to also come up 192 times. So at the time of this, we'll just briefly scroll through like what all the coins were when I took this. I know it's not the same, it's always changing, but on the far right, you see for Ethereum Classic, you'll see $1.04. That's the total revenue generated by a single 3080. And then you'll see after 10 cents electricity is what I have calculated here. After the 10-cent electrical cost, your profit is 46 cents. And I've used that same thing for all of these. Every one of these is calculated with 130.80 and 10 cents electric. Now, if you got free electric, probably none of this applies to you because you're still going to make some money if you have. Ravencoin at this time was $1.24 in revenue. And then after electricity, 64 cents profit. And then Ergo was $1.09 revenue, and after electricity at 10 cents a kilowatt, it was 56 cents profit. So the next thing we're going to look at is with just doubled network size. And I've told you that there is way more than enough miners on the Ethereum network to way more than double every single one of these profitable coins. There's just so much sheer hash power on that network, it's insane. So what happens to Ethereum Classic when the network size doubled but the price of the coin stays the same? You can see now because the network doubled, the difficulty went up twice as much. Obviously, we just talked about preset block times. It doesn't matter how much hash power you add, it's always going to adjust the difficulty eventually so that the block is discovered in the same amount of time. So as we talked about, the network difficulty will continue to go up as the hash rate goes up. And what happens is more and more people are fighting to get a share of that block reward. With just the Ethereum Classic network doubling, our revenue now went from $1.04 to 52 cents. And a net profit of -6 cents with 130.80, 10 cents per kilowatt electric. Now I know there's more efficient cars than 3080s, but I just want you to understand that there may not be any cards efficient enough, and there may be no hope for any of these altcoins unless either the prices come up or a lot of the miners actually retire. So then we look at Ravencoin, and with just the Ravencoin network doubling, which is just a tiny fragment of the Ethereum crowd coming over, I mean so small. Just a small percentage of Ethereum's hash rate just switching to Ravencoin. We went from $1.24 to 62 cents with 2 cents profit. And then the same thing with Ergo. Just a small sliver it takes of that Ethereum power switching over to double Ergo's network. And we're now at from $1.09, and I was generous and said 55 cents revenue, and now we're at 1 cent profit. Just the doubling of those networks alone, which is not even a fraction. It's a very small percentage of the actual Ethereum network. Just that small amount of Ethereum's hash power switching to these networks and doubling them makes all those coins instantly not profitable. They're at break even now with just doubling. And as I was saying in the figures before, we went over already, Ethereum network is 192 times bigger than Ravencoin, 125 times bigger than Ergo, and 42 times bigger than ETC. And for some of the other profitable coins, it's worse than that. These are just the three that I commonly hear people switch to. And if you think that you found a coin that's going to work, it's probably smaller than this, and it would take seriously when Ethereum ends, those people are going to be looking to switch or shutting down And if you're on a smaller network that's somehow more profitable, it's going to flood and it will no longer be profitable. Ethereum miners are going to be similar to a virus. They're going to go through and they're going to suck all the profits out of all these altcoins. The only reason these altcoins look profitable now is because Ethereum has always been traditionally more profitable. So the majority of people are sticking with the most profitable coin, and they're going to switch to the most profitable coin, and they're going to destroy all these networks. It's bound to happen. So a lot of people will say, well, you know, the Ethereum network is made up of ASIC miners. Some people don't even know there's ASIC miners in the Ethereum network, but let's say it's 50 to 60%. I've heard random estimates. What you have to understand about ASIC, unless they have some type of weird ASIC miner, like the ASIC miners they have are running the @hash algorithm. What that means is they can switch to ETC or anything else running @hash. That's not usually a big deal. Some of them have more than one algorithm, but I think the ones that are for Ethereum can only do @hash. That means if half the Ethereum network is ASIC miners supporting @hash algorithm, that means they have to switch to ETC or shut off. That means the Ethereum Classic network is fucked. It literally is. Unless the profits come up of those coins, like the value has to absolutely come up. Otherwise, you'll be losing money to electricity. And as you saw in my last video, there's never a time where it makes sense to mine through an electrical loss instead of taking the electrical costs and purchasing the coin instead. And that's what we all might have to do. So even if 90% of the Ethereum network was ASIC miners, ETC is gone. That's unless that price comes up, which it might. I'm not saying it couldn't. All I'm saying in this video is that mathematically at current, and you know, something could happen where these prices spike, whatever, but mathematically right now, all these coins are screwed, all of them. So let's say that 90% is the ASIC miners, at least 10% of the Ethereum network left. The Ethereum network is still big enough to more than double all those coins, which makes them not profitable. So if I can save a few people from like holding on to hopes and dreams, and maybe they can still make some money selling their systems. Now, I don't care if you keep mining and sell your systems or not, but even I sold a large portion of mine before the big collapse because I don't know. It could turn out, you know, it's all gamble. It could turn out where maybe it works out for you. Maybe some of these coins like spike in price and it does well for you. That's cool. And I hope it does. But when I look at statistics and probability, there are so many, I guess, doomsday scenarios for all these altcoins. So if there's, you know, one good thing that could happen out of this, it seems like there are 99 bad things. And as long as you understand the probability in all this, which is the point of my video, if you understand the probability that you could get wrecked and you're willing to take that 1 or 2% chance gamble if it's even that high, I'm fine with it. You can do whatever the hell you want, but there's so much misinformation coming around these groups where people think that they're just simply going to switch to altcoins. That's not going to be the case. I mean, look at the sheer size of the Ethereum network. Those people have to go somewhere or shut off. I don't know why you think that they're going to shut off when there's profitable coins to mine. They're not. They're going to basically be like a virus, go into all these other coins until they're not profitable, and then everybody's going to have to shut off. Some people will sell out their systems, everything's going to reshuffle, and then maybe one of these coins spikes in price, and then people will slowly trickle back into mining, and there'll be another cycle again where GPU prices are wrecked when the 4000 series would ever come out and everybody's trying to get them, and the 3000 series are no longer efficient. It's just a cycle. So where do you want to appear on the cycle? Where do you get off on the cycle? You know, some people didn't get off when Bitcoin hit its whatever 70,000. They said no, it's going to keep going. How greedy do you want to be? It's always best to set some goals. I'd rather take a for sure 10 times gain, sell out, and not worry about if it went to 100 times or not, because it also could go down like we're seeing now. A lot of those people that didn't sell their Bitcoin at 70,000 have like a third of their money. And people, other problems we're running into is places like Celsius, those big reward companies, basically suspend withdrawals, which means all the cryptocurrency is locked in there. And if you remember what happened to Luna and UST, a lot of these places could be on the brink of collapse, and they might just collapse. Just from a mathematical standpoint, if mining makes sense, I'm going to mine. I still have a small portion of my system left, and I plan on hopefully using that on something. I don't know what. But I also have no problem shutting down my systems and using electric to buy coin or support projects that I believe in. So I hope you found this video informative. If you have any other questions, please feel free to ask them below. I will try to answer them. I am by no means a crypto expert, but it just seemed like a lot of people were kind of like doing this fanatic, like cult type thing and avoiding like the real mathematical stuff behind this. So I just wanted to point out the actual math, give a little bit of data, do your own research. Things are going to change. Make sure you just understand that if Ethereum ever does merge, those miners have to go somewhere, and they're probably coming for your profitable coin. And you need to understand how difficulty works in the network, how hash rate affects that, and look at how much hash rate is going to come from those other networks potentially into whatever coin you're mining, and what effect that will have on your profits. very simply with the preset block times. If the total hash rate of the coin you're mining doubles, you will receive half the reward. And that will always be true, even though you might get ahead of it sometimes until that preset block time formula catches back up and adjusts the difficulty. So there are some lulls. It does take some time to readjust. I don't know how much time that actually is. I imagine it's pretty fast, but I have heard people, getting ahead of it and taking some advantage of that. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video.